Hello, my name is Jason Reichl, and you're listening to Risk Management Brick by Brick. I'm fascinated with people who are helping build and maintain the physical world around us. On each episode of this podcast, we'll dive in with a risk manager, speak to them about how technology plays a role in this process.
Let's just talk about what are the challenges with your particular model right now that you're managing. What makes a good an agency to partner with? Like, how do you determine that, and how has that changed in the last 5 years?
Man, we solve such an important need for agents at Next that I could never solve before. And that's frankly what brought me here. So for years and years in the small commercial space, agents that I've known for decades would come to me and say, small business, average premium, $1,500, sometimes $1,000, sometimes $500. I can't make money in this if I have to touch it more than once. Right. And I don't understand why the big name traditional carriers still refer to a human underwriter half the time.
Right.
Because then all of a sudden my financial model is blown. I can't do this.
Absolutely.
And so Next solved that problem by identifying there was a massive need there, and being a 100% fully digital sales and service carrier allows the agent to, within seconds, know, is it in our appetite? Yes or no? Do we have enough information to confidently underwrite the risk through a digital underwriting model?
Yeah.
And at what price? And if the answer is yes to those, which we know in seconds, agent can collect a premium, bind the policy, and move on to the next one. There's no follow-up forms, no underwriting referral can ever occur with us, and they can actually be finished in 5 minutes, go to the next account, and create revenue.
Which is a win for them because of the operational model they have to have happen. And a win for the customer too, because they're not being exposed to, let's say, the underbelly of insurance that is also probably difficult for them to manage.
And then the other benefit, which I know is kind of part of ITC and what this organization does, is if you can blend the technology piece into that, to where, and you asked the question about the type of agent we work with, the breadth of, like I said, a very small one-person retail shop all the way to a national broker. Our system is designed as a technology company first that sells insurance. So the model is super efficient. It's intuitive. It walks an agent through the quote process to guide them on that journey of how to counsel and understand risk, so that number one, they cover everything that the person needs. They do it as part of the embedded journey we give them to understand, to lead them to the right point. And so bringing that technology solution so that they can spend their actual people time, not on the administrative task of quoting, but instead on actually asking risk questions, asking about what they do specifically in their business and what are they most concerned about. That's where the value is, in my opinion, of the agent interaction, not so much being administrative.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that's changed in the last 10 years in this industry as it relates to brokers or agents, which is there's a bigger demand for them not to be experts at getting the policy, but being a value added to the service. And I'm guessing that it doesn't change just because they're small, medium-sized business, that what you really need is someone thinking about your risk program as an example, right?
Exactly.
Let's talk about human in the loop, like still in this process, because Next showed up on, the scene. We're digital, we're doing this. They got that. And now they've been around for a while. They brought you on 2.5 years ago. That seems much more in line with a traditional insurance model. What kind of things have you learned or they've learned that's important about putting these humans back in the loop in a digital process?
So for me personally, I believe that's really important. So number one, I don't think in 2026, the agent value is doing a certificate of insurance. That's not why they should be there. So where can we take that off their hands so that they can spend their time, like I mentioned before, talking to an underwriter about a more complex risk, or talking to customers through the social media, the digital ways to answer their questions, but bringing the menial task. And this is what I talk to my son about often, is like, what's all the busy stuff you do every day? If that could be taken off your plate, how would you spend your time?
I love that. Talking about AI and guardrails and things like that, what kind of stuff has Next leaned into around AI? What stuff are you guys still figuring out?
I mean, our business is fascinating, especially at Next, because we use data so richly and intently to minimize the number of answers an agent has to give us.
Yeah.
So, imagine the step where now we simply need the name of the business and the address.
Yeah.
And we say, is this it?
Yeah.
We found it?
Yes.
And you say yes. We say, well, we know everything about it now.
Yes.
Just confirm these 3 things and here's your quote. And so bringing that model into that equation to make the life of the agent so much easier and efficient is where we're headed.
That's where you're headed.
We're actually testing it now in a couple of the classes of business.
I'd love to talk more about that. That's a real data advantage that you guys have. If you're digital first, what ends up happening is you can build the whole profile off of that, right? And it becomes richer and richer over time.
That's what will bring us into 2026. So today we have limits on what we consider micro small business.
Right.
So let's say it's a 5 million revenue account. It's only 5 million because that's the data we have to give us the confidence to say yes or no.
Right.
When the data can allow us to go to 6 or 8 or 10, we'll go to 6 or 8 or 10. It opens up more market.
That's really, really awesome. I love the way that you guys are using data and building these risk pools and trying to find closer to what I'll call real time, even though we're talking about business data here, but closer to real time information to build a model that a lot of carriers, a lot of brokerages wouldn't use because they're using very, very old actuary models that can't really keep up with what is happening real time to these businesses. I want to play a game of risky or too risky?
Sounds great.
Okay. Auto binding a BOP using only bank feed categories and MCC codes. Risky or too risky?
That sounds a little too risky.
Why?
Selfishly, because I have so many more data points than what you just described.
Right.
To make that answer in seconds.
So, more data is the answer there. Right. Okay. Instant search with additional insured language and zero human QA.
That is, go for it. Not risky. We do that today. And that's on the service side of the house. That is our true value add, where customers are showing up at a job site at 7 a.m., pulling up a live certificate on their phone without having to call the agent for that info. They love it. They don't do it because we force them to. It's actually a beautiful model. I give agents the choice. They can service the traditional way if they want.
Yeah.
They have access to the same portal, or the customer can do it and not have to reach out to the agent. And it's back to what I said originally, that if I can help an agent take that administrative time off the list and they can spend their people time on true people activities, the revenue goes through the roof.
Amazing. I love that. Scraping client social media for underwriting signals.
We do that all day long. That's our secret sauce. It's truly fascinating because we do a ton of restaurants. That's our fastest growing segment. And when you have I'll call it a traditional carrier question set, ask hours of operations. Do you have a dance floor? Do you have happy hour specials? No, of course not. We have none of that stuff. And then we scrape the social media and you see how.
What's a piece of advice you would give to someone who's coming into the industry, and where would you tell them to focus?
I think there's still tremendous value as an insurance agent. I don't think that's going to go away in my lifetime. I'm so excited and thrilled to see the next generation and my own son coming through this model. And I think embrace the technology that exists today, just like you do in your personal life. Bring it into the insurance business.
I love that. Thank you so much, my friend. It was a great conversation.
Wonderful seeing you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Awesome.
Risk Management Brick by Brick is brought to you by TrustLayer. Find out how TrustLayer manages risk so that the people can build the physical world around us. Head over to trustlayer.io, and then make sure to subscribe to Risk Management Brick by Brick on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. On behalf of the TrustLayer team, thank you for listening.